Have you ever chased a job or relationship, a city, or a dream so hard that you were sure it would finally make you feel complete, only to discover that after the excitement faded, you were still carrying the same old emptiness inside? And have you ever looked at your own life and realized that almost everything you do is driven by a quiet hope that something out there will finally give you peace, safety, recognition, or love, even though a part of you already suspects that no other achievement has ever really solved that ache in your chest? Welcome back to the channel, my friend. I'm really glad you are here. Today we are going to sit down together and talk about something that may be the most important question in a human life. Why do we keep searching outside ourselves again and again for money, relationships, status, success, travel, and even spiritual experiences, yet still feel confused, restless, and unsatisfied? And what did Thich Nhat actually mean when he said that what you are looking for has always been inside you? You are not going to rush this. You're going to walk slowly. Like taking a long evening stroll together, you will hear stories of people who tried everything the other world could offer and still felt lost. You will hear the simple but radical practices Thich Nhat gave, like coming back to your breath, watching thoughts like clouds, embracing your emotions like children. And again and again we will return to one central point. This constant upward searching is not a personal failure. It is a habit of the mind that can be transformed. Let us start with something very simple but very honest. If you look back at your life, you may notice that the thing you have done most often is searching. As a child, you searched for approval, for someone to say you were good enough. School, you searched for answers, for grades, for a place to belong. Growing up, you searched for direction, for identity, for a sense of value. As an adult, maybe you search for money, for love, for safety, for meaning. From morning to night, the mind whispers, if only I had this, if only I could go there, if only they would treat me like that, then I would finally be at peace. That whisper drives us to work harder, to love harder, to move, to change, to consume, to escape. Is like a wind that never stops blowing. Thich Nhat once pointed to this and said, in essence, we are used to searching outside ourselves. First glance, it sounds harmless. Of course, we go to the outer world for things, food, shelter, people, but if you really let his words sink in, you may realize that a huge amount of your confusion comes from one simple mistake: your gaze is pinned in the wrong direction. He also said what you are searching for is already within you. When you first hear that, part of you might think it is just a comforting phrase, but read it again. What you are searching for is already within you. He did not say some of what you seek. He did not say, baby, if you meditate enough, it will appear. He said what you are searching for is already there. Most people's suffering does not come from not having enough other things. It comes from not knowing how to deal with themselves, not knowing how to come home to the inner place where peace, clarity, and tenderness already live. So they keep trying to fix an inner hunger with other food. It works for a moment, then fades, and the hunger returns even stronger. Let me tell you about a young woman who once shared her story. We will call her Lisa. She spent her entire life, in her own words, searching for a sense of safety. Growing up in a chaotic household, he never knew what version of her parents he would meet each day. Would they be loving, distant, angry, quiet? Her nervous system stayed on high alert. As an adult, he tried to solve this inner instability by rearranging her outer life again and again. He changed jobs frequently, thinking that maybe the next company would feel more secure. Ye moved from city to city, telling herself that a new place would finally give her peace. Ye went from relationship to relationship, hoping that the right person would finally hold her fair. Each time, there was a brief honeymoon period. New job, a new apartment, a new partner brought a rush of excitement. Ye told herself, this time it is different. This time I will finally feel safe. But after a while, the same old anxiety returned, the same thoughts, the same tautness in your chest, the same dread at night. One day, he came across a teaching from Thich, Nhat, a simple sentence that said, "It is not the world that is unstable, it is your mind that is not yet at home." When he read that, he started to cry. First, he was angry. Was the teaching blaming her? But as the tears kept coming, something softened. He saw that all these years he had not actually been searching for safety. He has been running away from the fear inside her. You realized that he had been trying to rearrange the furniture of life without ever entering the room of her own heart. It was not the world that kept betraying her. It was her own mind, which did not know how to rest in itself. This is a pattern many of us share. We think we are chasing money or success, but often we are chasing the feeling of being worthy. We think we are chasing romance, but often we are chasing the feeling of being needed, being seen. We think we are chasing freedom, but often we are chasing escape from our own habits and pain. Nhat would say very gently that when you look for the right thing in the wrong place, the harder you search, the more lost you feel. 'Tis not your effort that is the problem, 'tis the direction. Used a beautiful image. Your heart is like a garden, needs care, watering, sunlight, presence. But when we constantly stare at the gardens of others, comparing, judging, wishing we had what they have, we neglect our own soul. Our inner garden dries out, fills with weeds of anxiety, envy, and dissatisfaction, and we feel empty and assume that we must plant something bigger outside, more achievements, more excitement, more distraction. But the real issue is not the lack of other flowers. It is that our own garden has been abandoned. There is another man I once heard about, a very successful entrepreneur. Paper, he had everything. One is status, connections, but called reputation. People around him admired him and wanted his life. That in late night conversations, he would say quietly, "I'm exhausted and I do not know what I'm running toward anymore." First, he believed that what he needed was just one more project, one more milestone, one more expansion. But every time he reached his goal, there was only a brief high, then another restless pause. When he finally stumbled upon Thich Nhat's sentence, "Stop, and you will see," it struck him like a bell. For the first time in decades, he actually stopped. He did not stop working completely, but he paused the constant forward rush of his mind. He began to attend retreats where he was guided to simply walk, breathe, eat, and sit with awareness. First, it felt unbearable. He had built his entire identity on doing, achieving, proving himself. Sitting still felt like dying. But slowly, as he practiced, he discovered something unexpected. He realized that his suffering did not come from lack of success. It came from lack of connection with himself. He had been running so hard away from his own loneliness, his own fear of not being loved for who he really was, that he did not even know what he truly wanted anymore. Stopping did not make his life vanish. It made his life finally visible. Nhat's teachings always come back to one simple gateway: coming home to your breath. Why is breath so important? because breath is always here, always now. Where stories about the past and the future are in your head, where breath is in your body. It is the most direct bridge between your scattered mind and your living present moment. Breath is not outside. It is not on a screen, in a bank account, or in the approval of others. Breath happens in you, for you. It is like the soft knocking of home at your own door. Every inhale says you are alive. Every exhale says you can let go, just a little. When you practice mindful breathing, you are doing something very quietly revolutionary. You are sifting your habit. Instead of rushing toward the next outer solution, you are turning your attention inward to the very place where your experiences actually rise. You do not need to breathe in some complicated way. You do not need to force deep breaths. Nhat Hanh's instruction is simple. Oh, that you are breathing in. Mo that you are breathing out. Ust that. You might think that sounds too simple to help with deep confusion and suffering, but try it the next time your mind is spinning. Sit or stand where you are. Feel your body. Bring your attention gently to your in-breath. Follow it from your nose or mouth into your chest and belly, and feel your out-breath leaving your body. Do this for 3, 5, 10 breaths. You may notice that your problems do not disappear, but your relationship to them shifts. The storm in your head may still be there, but you are no longer flying inside it. You are watching it from the ground, from the anchor of your breathing body. There is an old story from Thich Nhat Hanh's teaching. One day, during a class, he noticed a student who looked extremely anxious. The student's hands were trembling. His eyes kept darting around the room. Nhat Hanh did not lecture him. He did not ask what was wrong. He simply said very softly, "Follow your breathing." The student did as he was told. First, his thoughts kept racing, but he kept returning again and again to the sensation of air entering and leaving his body. After a few minutes, his hands began to steady, his face relaxed, his eyes softened. Later he said, "I always thought I needed something outside me to calm down, someone's reassurance, entertainment, distraction. Did not know that my own breath could hold me." This is the essence of turning inwards. The outer world can trigger, stimulate, excite, and distract you, but the other world cannot provide a stable home for your heart. That home is built from your own awareness. Breath is the front door. From breath, Nhat Hanh leads us to the next step, watching our thoughts. Uses a beautiful picture. Thoughts are like clouds moving across the sky. You are not the cloud. You are the sky that sees them. Most of the time, we do not live as the sky. We live as if we are the cloud. Thought appears in the mind saying, "I'm a failure," and we believe it completely. Thought says, "They must not love me anymore," and we fall into panic. Thought says the future will be terrible, and we are afraid. You are not suffering because thoughts appear. Thoughts are natural. You suffer because you take each thought as the unquestionable truth. Nhat Hanh invites you to create a little distance. When a thought comes, instead of immediately merging with it, you can notice it. You can name it gently. For example, you can say in your mind, "This is a thought about fear. This is a thought about comparison. This is a memory. This is a story." The moment you name a thought, you are already standing a step behind it. You are no longer imprisoned inside it. You begin to see that thoughts come and go on their own. They rise, stay for a while, and fade, just like clouds that form and dissolve in the sky. When you practice this again and again, something powerful happens. You discover that there is a part of you that does not move with every thought. That still, spacious awareness is closer to your true home than any idea you have about yourself. In this sense, turning inward is not about getting rid of thoughts. It is about awakening as the awareness that can see them clearly and kindly. After breath and thoughts, Hanh brings us to another central area, emotions. He said that when an emotion arises, it is not an enemy coming to attack you. It is like a child inside you coming to ask for attention. Modern culture often teaches us to either indulge emotions completely or push them away. Some people drown in their feelings, acting out every wave of anger, fear, or desire. Others try to shut emotions down, telling themselves to toughen up, dismissing their own pain as weakness. Hanh offers a third way. When an emotion arises, he says, greet it. You can say silently, hello Pander, I see you. Hello sadness, I know you are here. This sounds almost too gentle to be meaningful, but it is actually a very deep practice. Instead of becoming the emotion, you are relating to it. You are acknowledging that it is present, but you are also remembering that there is more to you than this wave. He suggests that you hold your emotion like a parent holds a crying child. You do not yell at the child to stop crying. You do not abandon the child in another room. You pick them up, rock them, breathe with them. When you treat your feelings in this way, they often soften. They may still hurt, but they were no longer monsters. They are messengers. Often they carry messages that say, I am afraid, I feel abandoned, I have not been seen, I am confused. The more you are willing to sit with your own emotional storms kindly, the less desperately you will search for other things to numb or fix them. You will realize that no partner, no job, no amount of money can permanently stop your inner child from crying. Only your own awareness, your own presence can do that. Many people keep searching outside because deep down, they do not want to face this crying child. They fill their days with nice business, achievement, or entertainment to avoid hearing their own heart. It is not that they cannot look inward, they are afraid to. Nhat once said that people suffer because they do not come back to their bodies and their minds. You leave ourselves again and again. Our attention is pulled outward by screens, by notifications, by the endless news of the world, but we rarely pause to ask, how is my body right now? What is my heart feeling? What is the story my mind is telling? Imagine tracking how much of your day you are actually present with yourself. You might be surprised. When you are commuting, your mind is in the future. When you are working, your mind may be in comparison. When you are with loved ones, your mind might be half in your phone. You are almost never fully at home in your own experience. So of course you feel anxious. Of course you feel lost. If you never actually inhabit your own life, it will always feel like something is missing. Hanh captures this in another piercing sentence. You try to grasp the world because you cannot hold yourself. That hits the heart directly. You try to hold on to people, to control outcomes, to schedule everything, to predict the future. You cling to what others say or do. But no matter how tightly we hold, the outer world keeps changing. If your inner ground is not stable, every shift outside will feel like an earthquake. Someone's mood will ruin your day. Small mistake will shatter your confidence. Bit of criticism will spiral into days of self-doubt. This is the vicious cycle of upward searching. The more unstable you feel inside, the more you try to control the outside. The more you try to control what cannot be controlled, the more unstable you feel. Deep underneath, there is another reason we keep going outward. We have been taught from childhood to trust the outer more than the inner. You were praised for grades and achievements, not for self-understanding. You were taught to chase status, approval, presentation. Very few of us were taught to sit quietly and listen to our own breath, our own intuitive wisdom, our own values. So we internalized a belief happiness is out there, in a promotion, in a perfect relationship, in a certain body, in a certain lifestyle. Confidence is up there, in how others see us, in how many likes we get, in how quickly we rise. Peace is out there, waiting in some future when everything is finally organized. But as Thich Nhat gently reminds us, you are not unhappy because utter happiness does not exist. You are unhappy because you have been walking away from yourself. He said you are not unable to find happiness. You are simply too far from yourself. That sentence alone has brought many people to tears because they suddenly see their own life in it. They remember how many times they broke their own boundaries just to please others, how many times they silenced their own truth just to fit in, how many times they ignored their own exhaustion just to keep up. The farther you walk away from your own heart, the more empty you feel. The more empty you feel, the more frantic your upward searching becomes. You try to fill the gap with experiences, possessions, achievements, but the gap is not outside. It is the distance between you and yourself. Once met a young man who said he felt deeply lost. To deal with that feeling, he tried changing his outer circumstances again and again. He switched careers, traveled to different countries, jumped into new relationships, started and dropped projects. Each time he thought, now I will finally feel that my life has meaning. But no matter how much he did, the sense of confusion remained. When we talked more deeply, it became clear that his problem was not a lack of direction. In fact, he had too many. Everyone around him, online and offline, was telling him how he should live. Friends had their opinions. Social media had its ideals. Family had its expectations. He was trying to chase every possible direction at once. His inner voice was drowned out. The real issue was not that he did not know what he wanted. It was that he had never sat down and asked his own heart sincerely what it truly longed for, beneath fear, beneath comparison. Hanh summarized this in a simple line: when the heart comes home, everything becomes clear. When you return to yourself, you no longer need to chase every path others show you. You may still explore, but you are guided from within, not driven by panic from without. So, what does it actually mean in real everyday life to search inward instead of outward? It does not mean rejecting the world. It does not mean quitting your job, ending relationships, or locking yourself in a room to meditate all day. That is another misunderstanding. Turning inward is not a refusal to life. It is a new way of living. Searching inward means that in everything you do, you remain in contact with yourself. When you work, you know you are working. You feel your body in the chair or standing. You notice your breath. You see the thoughts of stress or pride or worry come and go. You are not just lost in them. When you talk to someone, you know that you are talking. You listen to them, but you also feel your own reactions, your own body, your own sense of grounding. You are not performing a role. You are present as a whole person. When you rest, you really rest. You do not scroll endlessly while numbing your feelings. You allow yourself to breathe, to release, to be. Nhat summed this up in another sentence: stopping is not stopping life, it is starting to life. Most people today do not suffer from lack of effort. They suffer from too much blind effort. Their minds are always running ahead or behind, worrying, planning, replaying. Their bodies are in one place, their minds are scattered across 10 others. Stopping is not abandoning your responsibilities. It is pausing your inner running long enough to actually inhabit what you are doing. It is asking quietly, how is my heart right now? Have I checked on it today? From that place, small practices become powerful. The first step, as we said, is breathing, not special breathing, just knowing that you breathe. That knowing, you come back from your mental trips into actual life. The second step is watching thoughts. You stop automatically believing every story your mind tells. You realize that the voice in your head is not always a wise guide. It is often an echo of fear, of old wounds, of cultural conditioning. The third step is embracing emotions. You stop throwing your feelings onto others or burying them under work. Instead, you take them as invitations to meet yourself more deeply. And then there is a fourth step that grows from these three: changing the way you live your ordinary day. Young woman once told a story that shows this beautifully. He felt that her life was meaningless. Every day looked the same: work, commute, chores, scrolling, late. He thought the answer was a complete change, a new country, a new career, a dramatic leap. And he came across Thich Nhat's advice to set aside just a few minutes each day to come back to herself. 1 minute to feel her body, 1 minute to feel her breathing, 1 minute to notice what he was feeling emotionally. Sounded silly to her at first. How could 3 minutes do anything? But he tried. He put gentle reminders on her phone, not as harsh alarms, but as little bells of mindfulness. 3 times a day, he would pause whatever he was doing and give herself those 3 minutes. He did not try to become enlightened. He just practiced being with herself. After a month, he noticed something subtle but powerful. Her utter life had not changed very much. He still had the same job, the same apartment, the same routines, but her experience of that life had changed. The train. Instead of scrolling mindlessly, he would sometimes watch the light on the windows, feel the movement of her breath, notice her thoughts without chasing them. Work. When he felt tension rising, he would take a few conscious breaths before reacting. Night. Instead of collapsing into numbness, he would spend a few moments listening to her heart and thanking herself for getting through another day. He said for the first time he realized that life is not fixed by changing the scenery. It is transformed by changing the way you show up in the scenery. He did not change her life. He changed her mind, and her life felt completely different. This is the power of inward searching. It gives you back your freedom. You are no longer defined by other measures. You no longer need others to like you before you can like yourself. You no longer need everyone to agree with you before you can respect your own path. You begin to feel an inner dignity, a quiet freedom that cannot be bought or destroyed. This is what many spiritual traditions call the wisdom of the heart. When you stand on that inner ground, you can still enjoy inner things. You can still work, love, create, travel, but you are not using them to fill a hole. You are sharing from a fullness. Of course, this does not happen overnight. The habit of upward searching is strong. You live in a world that constantly tells you to look outside yourself for answers and value. So be patient with yourself as you practice. There will be days when you forget completely and lose yourself in old patterns. That is okay. When you notice, you can always come back. One breath is enough to begin again. One honest look at your thought is enough to step out of it. One moment of saying to your emotion, "I see you," is enough to soften it a little. Hanh once said, "You do not need to become a better person. You only need to come back to yourself." That sentence is both challenging and comforting. Challenge is the part of you that believes you must constantly upgrade yourself to be worthy. Comforts the part of you that feels exhausted by endless self-improvement. Coming back to yourself does not mean indulging every habit. It means being real with yourself, seeing clearly what causes suffering in you and others, and having the courage to gently let it go. Seeing clearly what brings peace, kindness, and wisdom, and having the courage to cultivate it. You do not need to become someone else. You need to become intimate with who you already are beneath fear and conditioning. So, my friend, as we come toward the end of this long sharing, I want to speak directly to the places in you that feel tired of searching. Maybe you are tired of chasing people who never really see you. Maybe you are tired of constantly trying to impress others just to feel that you matter. Maybe you are tired of rearranging your life over and over, hoping that this new arrangement will finally silence the restlessness. If that is you, please let these words land gently. You are not lost because there is no path. You are lost because you have been taught to walk away from your own heart. The way home is not found in the next big thing. It is found in the next small moment of honesty with yourself. The next time you feel lonely, instead of immediately reaching for your phone, try placing a hand on your chest and feeling your breath. Ask your heart softly, what are you really longing for right now? The next time you feel jealous of someone else's life, notice the thoughts racing through your mind. See them as clouds, not commandments. Remind yourself that your path is unique, that copying someone else's outer shape will not give you their inner experience. The next time your emotions surge like a storm, instead of judging yourself or dumping it on others, try sitting for a little while with your emotion as if it is a child. Listen to what it has to say. Might tell you that you have been ignoring your limits, your truth, your needs. These are small acts, but they are also acts of great courage. Each one is a step away from blind outward searching and a step toward deep inner knowing. I would love to invite you, after listening to this, to choose one very simple practice as your way of turning inward. Maybe it is 3 mindful breaths before you check your messages in the morning. Maybe it is 1 minute each hour to feel your body. Maybe it is writing down 1 honest sentence each night about how you actually felt that day. Do not underestimate these tiny moments. They are how new destiny begins. If you feel moved to share, I would be truly honored to hear your story in the comments. When have you chased something outside and found that it did not give you what you hoped? Have you ever had a moment, even a brief one, when simply coming back to yourself brought a peace the outer world could not offer? Your story might quietly support someone else who feels alone in their confusion right now. And if you feel that this kind of content helps you breathe a little easier, think more clearly, or feel less isolated in your inner journey, I warmly invite you to support the channel. You can subscribe so you do not miss future videos, leave a like so the platform knows this is worth sharing, and comment so we can grow this circle of honest, awake conversation together. If you wish to support even more deeply, you can consider joining as a member, helping to sustain this space where we explore meaningful sense, emotion, karma, compassion, and awakening in daily life. Thank you from my heart for staying with me all the way to the end. May you remember, especially when life feels confusing, that your breath is always with you, your awareness is always available, and your true home has never left you. Each step you take be a little more grounded, each breath a little more conscious, and each day a little more filled with the quiet courage to turn inward and meet the one person you have been searching for all along yourself. There comes a time when you realize you want something that belongs just to you, something that brings comfort and keeps you connected to your inner world. Wall-crafted bracelet does exactly that. Quietly, softly, and consistently. If you felt drawn to any bracelet in this video, you'll find the purchase link in the video description and many more auctions in the channel's storefront. Because sometimes the smallest item can bring the biggest sense of peace.